Hey everybody, thanks for clicking. We appreciate that. So let's talk about some mistakes that we made on this stump grinding job. The location was great. You know, we always protect the driveway. See, put the floor mat down if you need to. So mistakes we made on this job, my gosh, there were several. So first of all, it's on a hill. So anytime you're on a hill and not flat ground, there's a pretty good hill there. Make sure you compensate. Always put up safety. You don't want pieces flying, because I'll tell you how many times pieces flew and hit that tarp. So make sure you safety first. But anyway, back to the mistakes. All right. My goal here was I was going to go in around the outside and clean up this mess. Now, the first sign that I should have recognized was there was a huge rock on the other side, which you'll see it in the other parts of the video. We got that out of the way pretty easily, but this stump literally grew rocks. There were rocks in it. There were rocks around it. It was just kind of a nightmare. So I thought, let me go grind around the outside, and then I could get a clear cut with my saw to get in there and knock down as much of this stump. See, we're just biting away at it. You could see that big rock on the left over there. So we're moving around. We're making pretty good progress here. I'm thinking this is going to go well, We already heard rocks, so you know how this went. So anyway, we started grinding around it best we can. Took a little time to maneuver it. But we got it to a point where, we were going to make a good cut. Well, first mistake I made was I brought the 20-inch bar and not the 28-inch bar. That was mistake number one. The second mistake I made was I didn't bring another chain and or another saw with me. I don't know what I was thinking. It's like showing up to a gunfight with one bullet, Literally, wasn't the smartest move. So here I go with the 20. I'm like, that's okay. I'll get through here. And I'm kind of moving along thinking, yeah, I got this. And as you're going to see in about a minute, that's when we found the rock inside the stump. You'll see the smoke just start pouring out because I could feel it and I can hear it. I was getting all excited thinking, yeah, I'm cranking right through this. And hello, rock right there. I'm like, yep, look at my saw smoking. Oh, my God. What a nightmare. So now the chain is fried. Saw is pretty much on fire. We go back to plan A. Let's just grind it out, and we'll see if we get the sledgehammer in there and knock some of it out. But I tell you, this stump threw me off time and time again. The roots coming out the side were pretty far out. It took me like 6.5 hours to grind this stump out with this 382 machine. And here you go. We're grinding a whole lot more material than we should have had to. But again, these are the mistakes we made, and we learn as we go, Going to bring a saw, make sure you bring backup, make sure you have some other chains. Another great thing to have brought would have been a chisel. Sometimes you use a hammer and a chisel. You can cut down, and you'd be surprised. You could split them a lot and get some of those chunks out of there. But I didn't bring that either. So anyway, this ended up being our last job with the 382 machine. And don't get me wrong, all in all, this is a really nice machine, but it's just a little too slow for me. I need to move a little bit faster on jobs, and I'll tell you, at my age, I think a remote is like kind of a necessity, because standing in that one spot, you can't move from the controls, So anyway, we did actually sell this machine. That'll be another video. And we upgraded to another machine. keep an eye out for that. We got a pretty cool SC 48 machine, diesel, cat powered diesel. That's our new baby. So we'll have some videos on that. Night and day difference. Anyway, like I said, this is a really good machine. I liked it a lot. I learned so much about stump grinding, I think, in the last 2 months. We've played with it. We've had smaller grinders. We had PTO grinder on our tractor. So we really liked the business, and we purchased this 382 thinking this was going to do all, even if, well, hey, it's a little slower on some big jobs, it'll be okay. Not the case. Because if you're standing grinding a stump, for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, you need to get compensated for that time. But if the machine's just too slow, I don't know, it's really hard to make a profit that way. But anyway, back to the mistakes I made. Like I said, I was underprepared. I got thrown off by the time. So I pretty much underbid this stump. Did some damage. My saw was pretty mad at me that day. We got it all taken care of. So those are basically just some of the mistakes I made, and I like to share them with everybody. Not only just the successes, but sometimes being a little prepared. That, like I said, the stump grinding business is a little bit new to our landscape business. So we're kind of doing a little trial and error as we go. And, like I said before, we've learned a lot. We've been schooled quite a bit in the stump grinding business, because I'm thinking when I bought this machine, I'm like, hey, this thing's great. It's gonna crank. It's got all these hydraulics, 4-wheel drive. Yeah, it's kind of a baby. I think rule number 1 in stump grinding is you will never have enough horsepower. Number 2, these things are pretty expensive machines. A lot of pros and cons, not to really get into the machines. That's not really what this video is about so much. But, I think this machine weighs 2,000 pounds. The new machine weighs like 4,000 pounds. So you're really doubling. We learned a lot about wheeled machines versus track machines. And I can tell you right now, one of the biggest differences between a wheeled machine and a track machine is the maneuverability. Did I say that right? I think I did. Here I go with a dull-ass chain trying to cut that stump. I was still going at it. But anyway, the track machines, my gosh, they probably do a little bit more, leave a little bit more of a footprint. But when you're trying, oh my God, look at the smoke. When you're trying to maneuver from one side to the other side, it's so much faster. Anyway, that's just one little thing I'll share with you about the difference between the two. I will do like a full video on the 382 compared to the 48, but that's not this video. So we did get the job done, and we killed the chainsaw, we killed the chain, and wow, when we got down, you'll see in the end of the video, I took pictures. We did get the stump down below grade, but my gosh, there were rocks, there were bricks, there were all kinds of just crazy stuff. Like I said, look at the pictures in the end. So I think we took out a few teeth on this one. No pockets, but a few teeth. It was a tough day, all in all. I tell you, when I went home pretty beat up. And, sometimes you win. Sometimes you don't. But we got the job done. We didn't do the cleanup on this job. This was a grind and go job. So that was good because I'm not exaggerating. There was about 2.5 yards of really heavy mulch because a lot of dirt in there. So anyway, those are some of my mistakes. And we have a lot more stump grinding videos coming up. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like and subscribe. And I will end my rambling now. So here's a picture of the rocks in the stump. Look at those things. Oh my God. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.